Hey up everybody, Magpie9901 here, and in this video we're going to go through the key points within the new Division patch which is due soon. This is patch 1.6. Now if you want to know the full patch release notes, you can log into your Ubisoft account and there is a link on the main screen, I think it is, for the Division. It's quite an exhaustive list, so I've just picked out the main points and that's what I'm going to go through today, but there are still a lot of them, so here we go. Anyway, let's get into it. So for Dark Zone areas, the Dark Zone is going to be expanded. So there is going to be areas 7 to 9, which is north of Dark Zone 6 and Midtown East. Landmarks will feature waves of enemies and they will also award you with additional loot placed directly into your inventory. And fast travel between Dark Zone checkpoints will then be available as well in this patch. New Contamination events have been added into the Dark Zone. Roughly once every hour, elite cleaners will spawn in a Dark Zone underground. Contamination in those areas will reach lethal levels, so your virus filter will not be able to resist it. Dark Zone leaderboards are also going to be introduced. These will track things such as events within PvP and PvE, and all tracked activities will be turned into a total overall score. Leaderboard rankings are divided into 3 tiers and will give out rewards, and when they reset on a weekly and monthly basis. A new difficulty mode is to be added. This is going to be known as Legendary. Legendary difficulty mode will be added to the Times Square, Warren Gate, Power Plant and Napalm Productions site and features new powerful and smart enemies. Legendary difficulty is the most challenging content in the game as intended for organised groups. Legendary difficulty rewards you with unique vanity items not available elsewhere in the game and on top of regular rewards. There's going to be new exotic weapons and new gear sets. Named gear pieces and weapons are now called exotics and have been given their own colour in the inventory. Exotic weapons all have their own unique talent. This change is retroactive. Exotic weapon sets have been introduced. Exotic caches are available as weekly reward from legendary difficulty missions. And there's some gear set changes in this update as well. Alpha Bridge 4-piece bonus now shares the free talent from your weapons instead of all 3. Frontline's 4-piece no longer removes the critical hit chance, instead it removes the effect of any mods you have applied to the shield. The Reclaimer set focuses on Support Station. Its 4-piece bonus activates all Support Station mods simultaneously. It no longer has an effect on consumables. Tactician's Authorities buff only disappears after you use the skill. And a new gear set, Seeker, has been added to the game. Armour has been removed as a major bonus and replaced with health. Gear still comes from base armour and some talents will still give bonus armour. Health and stamina are your primary means of toughness. Current health rolls have been turned into a new stat called Resist All. Resistances have become analog instead of binary. Diminishing returns have been added to status effects. Other parts of the game have been rebalanced as a result to make sure time to kill and time to be killed stay balanced, and all changes are retroactive. Skill power has been moved to a system similar to armour, where each of the new world tier you reach will demand more skill power to reach the same effectiveness of your skill. There's a bigger difference in skill efficiency between the low and the high skill builds. Changes have been made to Sticky Bomb, First Aid and Shock Turret. They've rebalanced signature skills and made it impossible to trigger a signature skill when you're already suffering from its immunity debuff. Tactical Link's damage bonus has been lowered in PvP. Now there's been some balancing in PvP. First of all, hipfire stability while moving has been decreased and a new hipfire camera has been added. The damage gap between body damage and headshot has been lowered. When combat rolling, there's now a new 1 second delay before you can roll again. You can no longer reload your weapon while sprinting. Medkits can now be used at full health and remove set status effects. The Rejuvenated talent has been changed to give additional resistance to status effects. Adrenaline no longer gives you an overheal from medikits, instead it will give you a heal over time. Your enemy's health bar will flash whenever they use a medkit. Survivability talents like On the Move, Battle Buddy and Critical Save have had some balancing. Been some economy changes. Unlimited recalibration has been introduced. The price increases each time, capping out at 5 recalibrations. Helping civilians rewards with intel. High-end pistol in survival no longer costs Division tech. Scavenger box scales with world tier, and some item prices have been tweaked. And some other minor changes that are going to take effect are that all activities now reward reward their own separate experience points and award their own caches. In survival, solo players can no longer Jesus Christ. Try again, Danny. In survival, solo players can no longer end up in games with players queuing as a group. Grouping up while in a PvP survival game has been disabled, and reviving a downed player in survival always costs a medikit. So there you have it, ladies and gents, quite an exhaustive list of changes. As I say, if you read the actual patch notes from the Ubisoft client, the notes are massive. It's a hell of a lot to read through. It took me ages to read through a lot of it. Are the changes going to make this game the game that they wanted it to be at launch? Because we're coming on for almost a year now since this game was launched, and I feel like they're only just now getting it where they wanted it to be at launch originally. And I think now, if like me, I played that game for about the first 3 months and then I give up on it. I just couldn't get into it and I left it. I'm sure if I went back into it now, especially once this patch is applied, that it's going to look totally different to what it did then. And that's a good thing, you know. This is a game that you only had to purchase once. You're not having to pay a subscription for it. It's been constantly updated, constantly tweaked. You know, they're trying to get the balance right. I do think that, especially games like this where there are a lot of buffs and there are a lot of abilities and things that you can use and stats, I do think that they've more or less got wrapped up in their own stats. You know, that as soon as you tweak one thing, it unbalances something else, so you've got to tweak again. Will they ever get the formula right? I don't know. But I did enjoy it when I used to play it. I just got a little bit bored of waiting for them to fix it. At that point, the Dark Zone was completely wrecked. It was full of cheats. You know, it was a mess. Hopefully it's not like that now. I would assume that it isn't. You know, they keep working on it, so it must be getting better. I would think that they've got a glut of new players since Christmas, because people would have got it for Christmas. They would have bought it for Christmas as well. So is it going to be the game that they really wanted it to be now? Is it where they wanted it to be? I don't know. Is it going to keep people coming back? Who knows? Like, every time they update World of Warcraft, people come back and the player numbers spike and then they settle down again. Could this be what they're doing with this game? I don't know. But anyway, there you have it, folks. That is the list of changes that are coming. Do you think some of them are good? Do you think some of them are bad? Do you think it's not enough? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. That is fine. Don't forget to subscribe, and I shall catch you in the next video. Take care.